Okay, I'm on my way to Oklahoma. I've been on the road for about 4 hours. I'm on Interstate 70 in the state of Kansas, out near Topeka. So we're heading to Rio Rojo Outfitters to go after Rio Grande turkeys. And Rio Rojo Outfitters is located in the most southwestern county in the state of Oklahoma. It's right on the border with Texas. And it's the first turkey hunting that I'll do this year. I've been waiting a year to take this trip, so I'm very excited to get there and get going. It's Saturday, April 13th. My hunt is technically supposed to start on the 15th on Monday, but he said I could start hunting on Sunday afternoon when I got there, so I left on Saturday to make it there in good time on Sunday to get out and hunt the afternoon. This will be the first leg of my pursuit in the World Slam for all 6 subspecies of turkeys. Of course, the eastern species is in Missouri, and I've killed plenty of those. I went to Nebraska last year to try and kill a Merriam, and I saw a lot of gobblers on that trip, and every one I saw was a white-fanned Merriam. The typical characteristics you look for in a Merriam, every bird I saw had it, except for one, and that was the bird I shot. That bird had pretty buff colors in its fan. It is most likely a hybrid Merriam Eastern, so I can't fairly count that bird as a Merriam. So after my Nebraska trip last year, I decided to go after the World Slam, and so at this point I have the Eastern and the hybrid, which the hybrid really doesn't count. So southwest Oklahoma is right in the heart range of the pure Rio Grande turkeys. So this trip will be the first true leg in my effort to get the World Slam. So hopefully should get into Oklahoma here in a few hours. Get down into the southwest part of Oklahoma later this afternoon. So next time I check in, hopefully we'll be in southwest Oklahoma. You gotta introduce yourself.
Tanner.
Of Rio Rojo Outfitters.
I know we were on.
First afternoon in Nebraska with Rio Rojo Outfitters.
Oklahoma.
In El Dorado, Oklahoma. What did I say?
Nebraska.
No, I didn't. I'll play that back and watch. I don't think I did.
You did, for sure.
Rio Rojo Outfitters in El Dorado, Nebraska. El Dorado, Oklahoma. We're sitting on top of a hill, glassing a pretty big area. I don't know what time it is, probably 3:30 or so. We're hoping they come back off of that piece, onto this piece, and we can spot them, get set up on them. And to my wife Kim, you can see I'm chewing. It's because my guide chews, and he made me take one. Look at him laughing.
That's the same story I'm giving too.
So we'll see if we can spot something. So we did not get one this afternoon. We came very close. We were sitting up on top of that hill where I took the last video, and we heard a gobble off to the right. We moved in to where we heard the gobble come from, got set up. I actually sat on a cactus, which I do not recommend doing. Called, and we expected them to come up over the crest of a hill, and they didn't. They kind of circled around us, and then they kind of just stayed right out of range, and there was too much brush in between me, and there were 2 gobblers that came in that we got eyes on. Probably 60 to 70 yards out, but just all kinds of brush in between us, and there was no way to get a shot. So I'm getting ready to go to bed on the first night. Here's my room. See, they got a full bathroom in here in each cabin. And bunk beds, so try and get a good night's sleep, get up in the morning, and try and get one down. It's my first morning. I'm going to get dressed, get over to the lodge, eat breakfast, and then we're going to go out and see if we can chase some turkeys. I got a bunch of hens with me.
We're at their mercy right now. I was talking shit. Look, busted fan. I knew it. Shouldn't have said anything.
They're still coming out of the trees.
There's one of those has a busted fan.
I don't care. I think one's chasing another one off.
Whatever you got, take your time.
What range is he?
He's 40. Good shot.
Woo, Sonny!
Let's watch, see what that does. Might run over here and jump on it. Good shot. Just let those clear off before we get out.
My man Tanner, Rio Rojo Outfitters in Oklahoma.
Not Nebraska.
We just put one down. There was probably, I think there were 10 hens and 2 gobblers. They were roosted just in that tree line. And they all flew out into this wheat field right in front of us. We've been watching them feed around and strut and gobble. They put on a hell of a show. And the one gobbler this morning was chasing another one. I think that was the one. I think the other one was the dominant one.
Right.
I think he was chasing this one off. And so this one's separated from the group. And he's been strutting around. He got to 70 yards once, then turned around, went the other way. Strutted out there at 100, 120 yards. And then finally he just started working back this way. And he kept walking and strutting and walking and strutting. And then finally he did commit a little bit to get his corner. He came out of strut and started doing a lot more walking than strutting. And he got to 40. And we put him down. Beautiful morning in Oklahoma on this big wheat field. Yesterday we hunted in the mesquite Today we're in some, what kind of trees are these?
Hackberry and soapberry.
A little bit taller trees, a little bit better roost trees. And there was a wad of turkeys in there. When we came in the dark, Tanner had his binoculars on the trees. He said, oh, I see some roosted in there. I thought you're nuts, it's dark. But he did, and they were in here. It was a perfect morning. It's my first Rio. I'm trying to kill a World Slam. I've killed all the, of course, Easterns like crazy in Missouri. Went to Nebraska last year, killed the hybrid. And this is my first Rio. Very exciting. Are you excited, Tanner?
I'm excited. Let's go check him out.
Oh, here's kind of some of what this Oklahoma brush looks like back in here. Ideal turkey habitat.
God damn, buddy.
I'm telling you, I'm excited. I think there'd be lots of tracks and sign in this. But the mud's kind of packed down. There was 4 inches of rain on Saturday, yep. There he is. Hey, yeah. That's that Winchester XR Longbeard ammunition. Carlson's choke. Yeah. He's a little wet. Get in here, Tanner.
Oh, yeah. Perfect fan. Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's got the Rio colors all in here. It's pretty light. He's a little bit wet, so they're a little bit, get him dried out. It's a nice bird.
Yep. Beard's a good beard.
Oh, here.
Real nice beard.
Yeah.
Yep, good thick one.
It is a nice.
Very nice.
That was a heck of a morning, heck of a hunt. I mean, we watched a dozen turkeys, really just from fly down until we killed this one. It was a perfect hunt, really.
Yeah.
Get to watch them strut and gobble and
Do everything they're
a
supposed
bunch
to.
of hens and called to them, and he worked in and put him down just like it should go. Very cool. Spurs here. You can see
It's a shame he's all wet.
the head and the beard. Yeah, there's a lot of dew on the grass. We can hang him up. He'll dry out. Spurs. Ah, that's what I came to Oklahoma for. We are back at it on the Red River. Set up, and there are 2 gobblers fired up just across the river. Sit on them for a little while and see if they'll come over. Something I should have mentioned is the Texas state line is just on the other side of that berm, on the other side of the river. So those turkeys gobble are actually in Texas, one state over. If you can kind of see that berm on the other side of the river, that's the Texas state line. Boy, they're gobbling pretty hard. I think they moved a little bit. Are they walking up the hill?
They're right towards that deer blind. They flew across. They flew down about 20 yards down.
I heard another one fly. Oh shit. Okay, tagged out in Oklahoma. Really what's on my first day. We started last night, but today was actually my first day. And what time is it, 10?
It's 9:45.
9:45, and we're tagged out. Earlier, we turned on the camera and showed turkeys gobbling from across the river, actually in Texas. And we called them over from there across the river, the Red River behind us. They flew across the river and came up this cliff and came, I don't know, 25 yards, 30 yards, right to where we were calling. We were using a glass call and yelping at them some, and then I cut at them real hard. And Tanner could see him running across the sand behind us from Texas, and ran through the sand, flew across the river and up the cliff right into our laps. So it was outstanding hunt, outstanding morning, and really excited. So I thought I'd just show you what we're talking about, what this turkey went through to get to us. So there's the Red River, very scenic, up and down, and they came from over in there. Probably, how far is that, you think? I wish I had my rangefinders. 280 yards, and ran across this sandbar to the edge of the water, flew over the water down to here, I'm assuming, and then flew up this cliff. I don't know, it's a good 50 feet just straight down. So flew into the bank of the river right there, and then flew up on to these rock ledges, and then walked right out into this field where we shot him. Definitely the furthest I've ever called a turkey, and definitely never called one from another state, and never called one over a river, so it's a very neat hunt. Okay, last video for Oklahoma, just a tour of the outfitter's place. Here's the cabins that you stay in. Over there's Tanner's house. You can see it's scenic. There's lots of wildflowers that grow out here in the meadows. All kinds of butterflies and stuff. It's really cool. You can see some of the big ridges and mesquite brush here around the house and the lodge. The lodge is over here. Here's the front of the lodge. It's got a nice big deck with lots of seating out here. They have a fire pit. Again, it just looks out into a bunch of mesquite brush around the road. Come in the front door. He's got all sorts of mounts and outdoor decorations. He's got his wall of fame for his deer hunting. And all of his mounts. There's a shed collection. This thing's pretty cool. Big elk skull mount or deer. That's a picture they took on the Red River right where we shot that second turkey. It's a picture of a deer crossing the river when the water's quite a bit lower. Here's where we eat. He's got tables set up. There's the buffet line. They have great food here. The big cooked meal for supper. Hot breakfast that he fries up in the mornings. Here's the kitchen. They come prepared. Here is behind the bar. See, the bar is made out of this big stone slab. Hunter's Cantina. Really cool. And here's the main part of the lodge. It's got a big frame built around his TV, more mounts, fireplace, pool table. And that's the lodge. Very cool place. And that's it from Oklahoma. I'm heading home first thing in the morning. Gonna hunt, of course, the Missouri season. Then I have a second trip scheduled for Wyoming. But this is it for Oklahoma. And it was a good trip.